Hey, this is Josh with Lost in Reviews, and today I am joined with Band of Fucking Skulls. And sorry for my excitement.
Right? We can swear, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Feel free. Feel free. Smoke, drink, whatever you got to do. But anyway, I guess my biggest question for you guys is someone who's covering as South by as press is always kind of curious as from the artist perspective, what is South by to you guys?
Well, I think this is our second experience of it, and it's always when we have a new record for us. And we came here with our first album, and really it felt like what we did here that time really set the ball rolling. And yeah, it felt right to come back with this new record and sort of do its initial thing in America here in the festival. So it's like, yeah, it feels just correct for us, you know, like the right place to start.
Anyone else?
It's one of those festivals where you could see quite well-known acts and really unheard of bands, you know, all in the same street, and you never know what you're going to stumble across. So
It's almost like you're a fan at the same time you're doing your own thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right on. Well, the new album, I've heard it, but my question for you is the first album was really kind of, I don't know, when I first heard it, it was like hearing Get Your Yeah Yeah Yeahs out for the first time. I mean, it was pretty intense. So my question for you guys, how did you guys approach the second album? I mean, did you go into the mindset of we want to outdo the first album, or just try something different altogether?
We always look at, well, we've only made two, so we didn't have you don't have any experience in doing your second record. It's just something that happens. We always treat it as a snapshot of what we're up to at that particular time, and we're very much a live band, so it's capturing just where we were at that particular moment after 2 years of touring the first record. And then, you take the picture of it, and then you just keep going. So we didn't think about it too much, just, what came naturally. And after 2 years of traveling the world, I think we learned a lot. We learned a lot from other bands. We became better musicians. We were much more considered in our approach to the second record. The first one was just, we had no expectation of it, so we didn't really know what it was going to do.
And would you say traveling among, within itself, is it the thing that kind of, I don't know, gives you more perspective on the second album, makes you more well-versed?
Yeah, I guess so. We were very kind of conscious. You don't want to write one of those second records which is all about your being on the road and it's just a bit done. It's more about leaving the experience of leaving home and being ripped out of your normal day-to-day life into this sort of new lifestyle and trying to deal with that kind of thing. And I think that's what kind of encompasses, especially lyrically, and the record.
Does it lose its excitement? Living out of the suitcase, do you ever get to that point where you're just, almost you envy just being able to, people who can stay home throughout the year instead of just traveling and touring and promotions and yada yada, etc.
I think you're always going to do that thing where if you're staying at home all the time, you see someone traveling all the time, you go damn, I wish I was doing that. But then when you're traveling all the time, you're like, fuck man, I just want to be home and hanging out with my friends. I don't think it's just flipped, that's all, But I don't think it's that different.
Good. Go ahead. Anyone else?
No.
No? Okay, my next question then is, the first time I saw you guys, 2220 is open for you guys.
Yeah.
And I think it's on the iTunes version, Sweet and Sour. You guys do Such a Fool cover.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys decide to do that?
Well, just because they're a great band, and the last tour of America we did, it was with the band The Wigs and the 22s and us, and
that was the show I saw you guys.
Yeah, and we did a big tour, and we had a real adventure together, and it was a nod, it was a tip of the hat to our mates really, and they're a great band, and we love that song. We were a bit worried about it because they're a great band.
They do it so well.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
It was actually a little bit of trepidation about it. Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah, we might piss them off, so.
How do they receive it?
I think they like it.
I saw Dan the other day. I've not seen Marty yet. I think a couple of them are living now in where are they living now? Minneapolis. Yeah. So we'll see them on the tour, and hopefully they'll be happy about it. It's a beautiful song, though. It's a great song, and a great rock and roll band.
If I could ever see you guys do a show together again, I mean, you guys just complement each other so well.
Well, we're good friends, and they're a great band, and we're from the same fold. We feel a kinship with that band, and So it's just natural for us to do their song. It's like, nice one.
And if I may put on my serious journalist Anderson Cooper face, so on your new album you have the song Devil Takes Care of His Own, but the music video, I saw it, and there's kung fu fighting, lots of violence. Was that choreographed, or is that just what happens when you guys play? You know, I saw acoustic set. Maybe that's an excuse, but when you guys start jamming, do people just come in and start the combat? Does it just start? Is it Mortal Kombat? Are there fatalities?
Do TV crews start to kung fu when we just talk and
See,
and play?
that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
We got to get down to the truth of this.
How are you feeling about this? Do you want to do some roundhouses or whatever? For the videos, if anyone has the craziest idea, we will pick it. So all the videos to this record, there was lots of good ideas, but the sort of the curveball we said yes to every time.
So that was just pitched to you guys.
Well, yeah, we worked with a few directors, and we're like, that one, please. Next Wednesday, I want to see some kung fu or some Mexican bowling, and it's a day. It's not a day off for us, but it's a definite break from the norm. And if we can see something slightly surreal, then you just have to say yes, and then it happens.
What's in the future for you guys? I mean, I know you guys just brought out an album, I'm sure touring, but goals beyond that?
I think more so now than ever, we're thinking about our next record, and I think
already.
Well, yeah, there's some songs that didn't make this record; they weren't quite ready, and we'll carry on working on them and carry on playing shows and just being a band. I think we're quite natural being in a band and playing live shows. It's what we sort of thrive off of, and we set our own bar and we set our own standard, and we just want to better it all the time. So we'll just get on with that, I think.
Next question is for people. There's a lot of local bands, here UK or whatever, and they watch bands who have made it legitimate in a legitimate way. What would you say? What would be your advice to them? To the aspiring artist.
Stay true to what you do. Don't feel like you need to change because a certain scene comes in or a fashion. Trends fade, and so stick to what you believe in, and that's all you can really do. And just don't get disheartened because it's not happening like with the click of a finger. We spent a ton of years like being in various different bands and working to this kind of place. So it didn't happen overnight for us at all. And if you manage to get there, then you totally feel like you paid your dues to be there. And and to any kids, like just get cracking on it early. Start young, like get your mates together and just start jamming. That's the best. That's the way we learned how to play. By just playing with other musicians and not thinking about it too much, just doing it.
Right. And I know you've heard this question a lot, I'm sure, but is there any chance you're going to starting maybe some solo art projects? And if anyone doesn't know, she is an artist before she was in the band.
At the moment, there's
We're double tapping this.
That was not right.
there's no time to paint apart from I take sketchbooks on tour and stuff to sort of draw and a lot. But whenever I go home, I try and get some work done.
As my own curiosity and perhaps ignorance, did you do any of the work on that first album cover?
Yeah, both records have my paintings involved in them somewhere, whether it's inside or outside on the cover, or some of the singles have sections of the paintings, these new singles recently. I just had an art show in London with all the work as well, which was really good fun. So seeing all 8 paintings up in a big white gallery was, blew my mind. So that's
fascinating. I mean, just, transcending from that style of art to the next, what was it like? I mean, the expression of it all, if you know what I mean, like when you're writing music first, expressing yourself on a canvas.
It was great, but I just did the paintings just after we finished the album, so we were hearing mixes kind of being sent back and forth from LA and having to kind of check them out. So while I was painting, I was constantly listening to our record, so it kind of infiltrated in there, I think, somehow. And I was thinking about obviously making work for this record specifically this time, rather than the first record. It was just, we picked a couple of pieces that might work, and so it was a slightly different way around this time, but I think it works. The symmetry is still there, and it's just having that continuation from the first album to the second. And there's a link through all the work, Which
Still beautiful work. Now that I know you've done that work, it's fucking awesome. But what's the difference between traveling overseas and here in America, that with the crowd, just the atmosphere in general? What to you guys personally?
I think for us, we really started our touring life in America, so it really hardened us up, and we played every town in the smallest rock bar or whatever, like, you know, in the bar. And then the second tour we played like in the back room, and then the third tour. So it's been we feel like now in America, like when we do have a bigger show, we really feel proud of it. You know, the fact that we've.
And fuck, you should. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Well, you know, it feels good for us, and I mean, we've done a similar sort of amount of touring in back at home in Europe, and you know, we're a rock and roll band, so it's just about we can play in a bar or in a bigger show and stuff. It's sort of the same thing really for us. Just a bit of energy from the audience, and we'll feed off of that, and then when we're really comfortable, we start playing how we feel and messing up, trying to put each other off, you know, and having fun. Yeah.
That's what it's about. Anyway, Josh Lost in Reviews with Band of Skull once again. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man.
Seriously, it was awesome. All right, thank you. All right.